believe America can be better. We can be even stronger than before. Let us create together a new national spirit of unity and trust. Your strength can compensate for my weakness, and your wisdom can help to minimize my mistakes.
Life of Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, the humble peanut farmer from Georgia who rose to become the 39th president of the United States. Known for his deep faith, compassion, and lifelong dedication to peace and service.
His mother shaped him, Miss Lillian. Call her liberal, if you will. They were Democrats.
The church had a lot to do with your life. It wasn't just church on Sunday, it was really believing in Christianity.
Carter's story is not just about politics. It's about humanity.
Jimmy Carter was a Baptist, an engineer, and a peanut farmer.
Let's take a journey through the extraordinary life of Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter has had one of the most successful post-presidential terms of any president that I can remember.
James Earl Carter Jr. was born on October 1st, 1924, in the small town of Plains, Georgia. Raised during the Great Depression, Carter grew up in a modest family that instilled in him the values of hard work, honesty, and faith. His father was a peanut farmer, and his mother, a nurse, devoted herself to helping others.
Carter was the eldest son of James Sr., a well-to-do peanut farmer, and Lillian Gordy Carter, a successful nurse.
From an early age, Carter developed a sense of responsibility that would guide his entire life. Ambitious and intelligent, Carter earned admission to the United States Naval Academy, graduating in 1946. As a naval officer,
President Carter graduated from the Naval Academy in 1946.
he specialized in submarines and served with distinction. But in 1953, tragedy struck. His father passed away, and Carter returned home to take over the family's struggling peanut farm.
He did very well, but his father died, and someone had to take care of the peanut business, so he resigned from the Navy.
With hard work and innovation, he turned it into a successful business.
Raised on their farm alongside his siblings, Gloria, Ruth, and Billy, Jimmy devoted himself to the family peanut business through the lean years of the Great Depression.
Jimmy Carter's journey into politics began in the early 1960s, when he won a seat in the Georgia State Senate. Known for his honesty and refusal to play dirty politics, he quickly gained a reputation as a man of integrity. In 1970, he was elected governor of Georgia, where he focused on civil rights, education, and government reform.
He ran for governor, and he didn't make it. Then he ran for governor again, and he was elected governor.
Carter made headlines by declaring that the time for racial discrimination is over, a bold statement in the South during that era. In 1976, Jimmy Carter shocked the political world by winning the presidency as an outsider,
Jimmy Carter, and I'm running for president.
defeating President Gerald Ford. He promised honesty, transparency, and a government free from corruption.
I can't promise that I will always be right, but I can promise you that I will never be satisfied with less than the best.
During his presidency, Carter championed human rights, both at home and abroad. He brokered one of the most significant peace agreements of the 20th century, the Camp David-Accord, bringing peace between Egypt and Israel after decades of conflict.
His signal foreign policy accomplishment was shepherding the peace treaty between Israel and Egypt.
Carter also created the Department of Energy, emphasized renewable resources, and sought to make America less dependent on foreign oil.
We now believe that early in the 1980s, the world will be demanding more oil than it can produce.
However, his presidency was also marked by challenges: soaring inflation, high unemployment,
Double-digit inflation, high interest rates. The economy was really in very, very bad shape.
He recognized early that we had a significant energy problem in this country. The public wasn't ready to hear it.
and the Iran hostage crisis, which deeply shook the nation's confidence.
On November 4, 1979, an armed group of Iranian radicals stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, demanding that the U.S. extradite the deposed Shah to stand trial at home. The radicals claimed 66 Americans as their hostages. the standoff captured the attention of the world.
These struggles ultimately cost him re-election in 1980, when Ronald Reagan won in a landslide. Many former presidents fade from the public eye, but for Jimmy Carter, leaving the White House was just the beginning of a new chapter. He dedicated himself to humanitarian work, founding the Carter Center in 1982. The organization focused on global health, human rights, and democracy. Carter traveled the world, monitoring elections, fighting disease, and promoting peace. He became a tireless advocate for eradicating guinea worm disease, reducing malaria, and promoting housing for the poor through his work with Habitat for Humanity. His efforts touched millions of lives across the globe. In 2002, Jimmy Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his decades of efforts to promote peace and human rights.
No matter how intense your commitment is to a profession or to your current duties, there's really always time to expand your life, to stretch your heart and mind, and to have things that are much more enjoyable and relaxing.
Even into his 90s, he continued teaching Sunday school in Plains, Georgia, living a life of simplicity and faith. To many, Carter is remembered not just as a president, but as a humanitarian whose compassion left a lasting impact far beyond politics. From peanut farmer to president, from world leader to humble servant of humanity, Jimmy Carter's life is a reminder that true greatness is not measured by power, but by service. His legacy will live on, not only in history books, but in the millions of lives he touched. Fade out with images of Carter smiling, working with Habitat for Humanity, and teaching in his hometown church.